But guys, I'm so super excited. This is my first show that I've ever directed because usually I like to be in the show, but this year I was like, I'll give y'all a chance. And I'm super excited, and I hope you guys enjoy.
It was September, and there was a town.
Erwin, Tennessee.
There was a circus.
Sparks World Famous Shows proudly presents.
There was a railroad.
The Clinchfield in Ohio. There was an elephant.
Mary.
And there was a man with red hair.
It was September, and there was a town and a circus.
Charlie Sparks, owner, operator, Sparks World Famous Shows. You want to run a circus? Always keep it about the money. Oh, you might have a dream. A dream of making the crowd leap to its feet, clamor with one voice. Sparks, Sparks, Sparks. But be careful, you're the ringmaster. Dreams aren't for you. Dreams are for rubbernecks. Dreams are for suckers.
Erwin. The town I can remember its own name. True story. Supposed to be named Irvin after some rich fella. But postmaster messed up and spelled it E-R-W-I-N instead. Nobody remembered to fix it. Yup. That's Irvin for you.
I lift things, heavy things, anything. This gets me on board. This gets me to America. This gets me to circus.
Never been nowhere. Work a steam shovel down at the Erwin rail yard. Dig holes all day. One hole after another. Papers say we might go to war with the Kaiser. I'll be the first to sign up. Away with a patriotic young man. Hell, ain't patriotic. Just bored.
Ballet girl.
Ballet girl.
Ballet girls.
Can't dance. Practically old enough to have a girl of my own. But ballet girl it is.
Not a showgirl, a ballet girl. Substitute ballet for show, and I'm not a scandal. I'm an artist. I'm not a temptress in tights. I'm a dancer. A ballet girl. That's me. From head to toe.
Mud. Yellow mud. Everywhere. Boardwalks help some. Not enough. Always scraping it off your shoes. Enough to drive a person crazy, all that scraping. Buried 2 kids in the mud. A husband. Mud's trying to swallow me up. Swallow this whole town up. God's punishing us for something. Taking another flood to wash everyone clean.
I finished setting up the Erwin Free Will Church in July. I was a bit optimistic about how many pews I think we need. Well, a bit quiet on Sundays. But I keep on testifying, because there's nothing more lonely than a New Testament preacher in an Old Testament town. It's love. Feed her, wash her, sleep with her. Hell, end of the day, I even have a drink with her. Pour some whiskey in her bucket, mix it with some water. She loves it. Sticks her trunk in, it's gone in a second. I'm lucky. They live a long time. Now you play your cards right, you can have a friend for life.
He's my friends, I guess. Play with my brother Eli, skip stones at trains. Read Tarzan books. He's something. Read them right before bed. Gives me the best drink.
Too old, the lot of ya. Kids laugh, easy peasy. But I should always give them something more than laughs. Give them perspective, lesson to carry with them. There's always someone worse off than you. Except for a clown. Nothing lower than a clown. Everyone makes ranks, even the ballet girls. Us clowns, last ones to get the makeup mirrors, even though we're the ones that wear the most makeup. Let's put it this way. How many ringmasters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They make the clowns do it.
Erwin, a rising dollar every year. Best this country has to offer. Peaceful. Keep it that way. Folks around here are honest. Law-abiding. It's not the folks around here I worry about, though. It's the strangers. It's that damn train station.
All the traveling from town to town, the firing, the hiring. Me. Firing happens all the time. Fella's lucky, he gets fired in one of the towns during a stop. Unlucky, he gets red lighted. Tossed off our train while it's moving. Sucker don't see nothing but the red lights of our caboose as it fades away. And hiring. Yeah, I do a lot of that too. Tiny's got out of line every now and then. Want to prove they're tougher than the a strong woman. Get fresh with the ballet girls. Sparks sees any funny business, he calls out the hey Rube. I gotta teach every new hire. They hear that hey Rube, they drop whatever they're doing and defend their own.
It was September, and there was a town, and a circus, and a railroad.
The railroad invented time in America. We came along and told this country we have a schedule to keep. Time is not relative. Time is precise. Time is not gray. It is black and white. The circus? Irwin? They have the hour guaranteed. You get to depend on the railroad.
It was September, and there was a town.
There was a circus.
There was a railroad.
There was an elephant. Mary.
We dreamed her before we saw her.
She was plastered on every telephone pole.
Every fence post.
Every barn door.
September.
The circus was coming.
She was coming.
To our muddy town.
It was all there in black and white.
And color.
It said,
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Spock's world famous shows, the show that never broke a promise.
Moral. Entertaining. Instructive.
25 years of honest dealing with the public.
Proudly presents a tremendous exhibition of wealth and splendor.
All new for 1916.
starring Mary, the largest living land animal on Earth.
Death-defying feats of skill and daring.
Mary, over 5 tons.
2 packs of man-killing lions.
Mary, 3 inches taller than Jumbo.
5,000 seats.
Mary, guaranteed at every performance.
A free street parade each day at noon.
An elephant is an investment. You open up your pocketbook, you lay down the $8 grand, don't think about it again. Simple. Now you've got the trained seals, the trapeze, the strong women, fine. But they aren't the bread and butter. No rubberneck comes to a circus doesn't have an elephant. Strike that. No rubberneck comes to a circus doesn't have a big elephant.
They love a parade. All elephants do in the wild anyway. Walk around. Wild elephant herd follows the leader, and the leader is the biggest female. I got no reason to mess with that here. So, they all march behind Mary. Shadrach, Benny, Sue, little Mabel, one behind the other. Trunk wrapped around the tail in front of her. Let me tell you something. Only thing better than watching an elephant parade is being in an elephant parade. Only thing better than being in an elephant parade is leading it. A dream. Sitting on top of the world. Little Shorty. On top of his own personal mountain. On top of Mary. Legs wrapped around her back. Head in the clouds.
Impressive, no? No? So tell me, I do not cost as much. I am not as temperamental. I do not relieve myself all over stage. So tell me, please, have the courtesy to inform me why that elephant is out of the show.
Once I'm decreed safe, nothing but a wholesome ballet girl. Then I had the elephant, bearing me into the ring, wrapped up tightly in its trunk.
Oh, I'm never more powerful, sensual, dangerous than when I'm with Mary. Keep your spangles, your makeup, your headdress. Diamonds? Diamonds are nothing. An elephant is a girl's best friend.
They're the hardest workers I got. They load and unload the boxcars, push up the tent poles. Those tuskers can do anything.
Nobody looks down on an elephant, right? They're too mighty to ever be humbled, too strong to ever be broken, too big to ever be laid low. Mary's the biggest us Joey's ever seen, so we love her the most.
Listen, an elephant isn't cute, isn't a friend, isn't a symbol for something else. An elephant is an elephant, and an elephant is an investment.
It was September. There was a town. There was a circus. There was a railroad. There was an elephant. Oh, and last but not least, there was a man with red hair.
Lou knocks on my boxcar. Tells me I got a new roommate. Goofy looking, red haired guy. I tell Lou crowd enough in here with 5 elephants, but she insists. Tells me Red's my new partner.
Don't like partners. But I'm not gonna be a jerk about it. I show Red his corner, he grabs about the smell, I tell him get over it. Townies think elephants smell bad in the ring, well, try sleeping with one in a boxcar. He shuts up when he sees Mary, though. Looks at her like she's the answer to his prayers. Man, any case, I don't know if he's a nut or soft in the head or what. I'm not gonna turn my back on him. I may not be big, but if he makes one wrong move, Red's getting the red light.
Click, clack through the night. Erwin is waiting, and we will not disappoint. You can depend on the railroad.
Dig, 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 dig. Train, whistle, elephant, circus.
Eli woke me up at 4 a.m. I cussed him out. Thought we was gonna be late. Peeked in at our folks still sleeping, snuck out the window and ran as fast as we could down to the field where they do it. We were all there, all the kids in Erwin, there to watch them set up the big top, the greatest for show on earth. Trains whistled, brakes screamed, men and animals stomped out of every door. Everyone seemed to know what they was doing, except this red-haired guy. He kept bumping into stuff, tripping on ropes. People yelled at him, and his face turned as red as his hair. Then this elephant came out. I about peed myself. It made this big trumpet. We about peed ourselves. The men unloaded the main tent pole and set it right between that thing's eyes. It walked on forward, boom, 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 sending the pole in the air as it stomped. Higher, higher, higher. It was like a dream. Now, that's probably my favorite part of the circus. Watching them set up. That and the parade. I was really looking forward to that parade.
Around 9 a.m., the ringmaster woke me up. Had to clear Main Street with him. Told me the horses could spook the elephants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything you want, sir. Main Street will hold its horses.
Hell, it's not enough I gotta let him come to the town and pick the pockets of us all. Gotta roll out the red carpet for him while he does it.
I've shown Red how to feed her, groom her, and that's it. That's all he knew. Lou waltzes in and says,
Big deal, Shorty. Red wants to ride Mary in the march. Back off and give the new guy a chance.
I should have said no. I should have told Lou she was mine.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Just stepped aside, maybe made a face. That was my big protest. A face.
The kisser on that guy.
It's trust. Trust you build up over years, not one day. Every peanut, every bath, every pat on the trunk. It's trust. Love. But Red didn't have time for anything. No. Red had a parade to lead.
Shorty's on Shadrach, but he still has to make the call. They won't start walking for anyone but him.
Trunks up! I opened up the church doors to see a whole bunch of brand new faces I ain't never seen before. I was ready to thank Jesus for answering all my prayers, but people weren't trying to get in. No. The church steps were the best place to see the parade. People standing there with the glows in their eyes, waiting to see a miracle. Well, if I couldn't provide that glow on Sunday, at least there was something that could.
Right on Main Street.
Pat the down from the shovel. Everybody did. Circus day.
Me and Eli were about peeing ourselves.
Elephants, clowns, tigers, all mucking down our Main Street through our yellow mud.
Made her look like something for once.
You could hear the brass band and bass drum for miles.
Mud on all them circus folks. Hem of their dresses, tails of their coats.
Colors you never dreamed of.
So long, stretched on forever.
Erwin mud on that elephant. Mary!
Mary! Mary! Mary!
Dominoes start falling. Elephant sees Melon. Elephant walks towards Melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider encourages Elephant to abandon the melon. The elephant ignores the Elephant Rider. The Elephant Rider is most insistent to the tune of Elephant's hook across Elephant's head. The elephant ignores it once again. The elephant keeps walking towards the melon. The elephant pulls up the parade. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider breaks elephant's hook across elephant's tusk. The elephant thinks. The elephant decides she has enough of Elephant Rider. Dang this thing, huh? She has enough of Elephant Rider. That's it. You know? Gray stops. Man dies. Elephant turns killer. All for a melon.
Nothing. Thing didn't flinch. Somebody screamed at townsfolk, ran off in a panic. I couldn't do nothing but stand there holding empty pop gun. Thing kept reading its melon apart, beating him while that poor man's head sat leaking, just lying next to it. The ringmaster ran up to me and told me to sell this later. I told him yes. Yes, we will. Some carnies caught off the Lincoln fella. Some animal cages. The short guy led that thing back to the fairgrounds. Clowns washed down Main Street with buckets of water. Vanished. Quiet for a minute. Like nothing happened. Townsfolk came back. Most of them crying, but a few were laughing. At me.
Folks lined up back on the street. They all sat there, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. I opened the church doors up, but no one came.
There was a pool of blood and brains in front of the post office.
I heard his head crack open again. In my head, sharp crack, then softer ones. Crack, 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 crack. She stepped on his skull, crushed it, sent another body into the mud.
Couldn't stop looking at that blood.
Crack, 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 crack. Town's cursed. Eli fucking knew him. Could have been any of us.
Carl said she'd killed 2 men in Virginia.
7 men? 18.
Right on Main Street. It can't just do that, can it? Going around killing people?
Our Main
Street.
Tarzan would have stopped her. Tarzan would have jumped on her back and stabbed her through the eyes and gouged out her brain.
Right on Main Street.
And eye for an eye, and maybe Earl will finally be clean.
Our Main Street.
And eye for an eye, and maybe Earl will finally be clean.
Our Main Street. Our Main Street. Right on Main Street. Our Main Street.
It could have ended there, but that wouldn't have been right. That wouldn't have been justice. Maybe my pop gun didn't mean squat to that thing, but damn it, we find something that would. Irwin don't look too kindly upon murderers.
Crowd breaks up and follows the marshal into the saloon. I stand in the doorway, hear talk, lots of talk. Talk about public minutes, talk about what you do with rabid dogs, talk about what's right and what's wrong.
I stared at the steps, the empty steps, waiting for someone to come in, but no one did. So I walked back in the church, let the church door swing behind me.
I tried to get in touch with Red's family, his friends. He didn't have none.
Like he didn't even exist, except for us. Like he was born to do nothing but cause us trouble.
Poor kid.
He was weak, did not understand. You are on top of her, but she is stronger, not you.
Joey said a few words. Buried him in the fairground.
Still haven't shown it to you that night. Must go on. Doors!
I told Charlie maybe we should keep Mary out. Maybe people forget. But he told me what I already knew.
They won't forget. They aren't coming to see the circus. They're coming to see the killer.
He was right. There would have been a riot if we kept her away.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Spock's world-famous shows proudly presents.
Normal night we play up the danger. Talk up toothless tigers. Not this time. This time the ballet girls walked out with Mary like she was the most innocent of God's creatures.
Look at me, all of you. Here I am, all wrapped up, cuddled up in the very trunk that did the deed. And am I scared? Am I trembling? I'm smiling, smiling.
But it didn't work. Those people weren't there to forgive. They stood up and they pelted her with popcorn. And then they started making this sound.
Listen to that. Comes true. Your dream comes true in a tiny town in Tennessee. The crowd leaps to its feet and speaks with one voice, shakes the air and makes it tremble. But it's not the sparks you dreamed of, but oh, they scream till their lungs ache, louder than any lion's roar. Young and old united in one glorious moment of certainty. Their scream, their chant, their heart's greatest wish. Kill it.
Kill it! Kill it!
Louder! The marshal and everybody waving guns around, everybody shouting. Well, I'll set the colored section.
There's no need to say nothing. Irwin don't give you no vote. At all. Best to keep your mouth shut.
Then this clown started talking. Never knew clowns could talk.
No! Webb was one of us, part of the circus. He knew the risk.
Then the little guy came out.
You all saw him hitting her over the tusk with the hook. What's she supposed to do? She stopped him, that's all. She stopped him.
The marshal and the new preacher stood up.
These cards can talk all they want. We know what we've seen. People of Irwin demand justice.
No, we don't. God knows, no vote was cast, no vote was counted. I am not the people. I am not the...
We know what we've seen. People of Irwin, people of Merrick demand justice.
Louder! Then the strong woman grabbed a barbell and started shouting at the ringmaster.
Sparks! Call the Heru! Call it Sparks!
The ringmaster didn't do nothing.
Let loose the tigers, the lions. The rubbernecks want to know who is stronger. Their puny chests, their straw hats. I will crush them all. Sparks! Call the Heru! Call it Sparks!
Finally, the ringmaster raised his hand. Everything got quiet.
Now, $8,000 is a lot to lose. A lot to lose in a hick town middle of nowhere. But investments get tricky when the people want blood, because it's not just Irwin. Your advanced men wire back from upcoming stops: Johnson City, Rogersville, Indian Ridge. Your circus isn't welcome until that elephant is taken care of. So, is she still worth 8,000? Is she still worth anything? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus understands. The circus understands your wishes. This merry matter will be handled to your liking tomorrow, and we are open to suggestions.
The marshal knew shooting it with a pistol hadn't worked, so they talked about getting a cannon, a Civil War cannon from the nearby museum. They also talked about electrocuting it, frying it like some of them had seen in that motion picture Thomas Edison had made. That wasn't dreaming big enough. That was copycat stuff. We had the answer. We always have the answer. The rail yard. There's a crane there can lift 100 tons. Says so on the side of it. Right there in black and white. Nothing great can get up to that much black and white. Why? Something like that can hang her. Hang her like any other murderer. She may be big, but the railroad crane's bigger. Crane will get the job done. Crane will do the trick. Crane's a railroad after all. And you can always depend on the railroad.
Well, I ain't too fine, I guess. Still the cannon would be better.
An eye for an eye, and Irwin will finally be pleased.
I'd never plead. Irwin. Irwin is the place to be tomorrow. Ain't nobody else, and I mean nobody else in this world is hanging an elephant. So that's something. That's something we got. So if you want to see it, you get off your fat butt and come down here for a change.
So now Lou and Sparks need my help. What am I gonna do? Walk away? Leave them to figure this out themselves? No. I stay. I stay because if I don't, they'll mess it up. And it'll be even worse of a spectacle. Lou and Sparks are happy this is my answer. They open their mouths, smile real big. I stop them. I don't. Don't think I forgive you. Don't think that. I will never forgive you. And I tell them, go ahead. What's your question? They asked me how to get her out to the rail yard. How to get her through all those people without all hell breaking loose. I think. Now tell them. Testers aren't stupid. They know when something's up. Gotta make her think it's a normal march. She can't go out there alone. Mary has to lead the parade like it's any other parade. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, Little Mabel, all of them. Trunk to tail like always. Then what? And this. Someone's gonna have to train.
chain Mary's foot to the track under the crane so she can't move. Then Lou, you take the other elephants away fast before they smell the panic on them. Someone runs up Mary's back. Throws a hanging chain around her neck. Someone she knows. Someone she trusts. They look at me like I'm crazy. Tell them to relax. Tell them I'll do it.
You don't sleep that night. You think. You wish you could charge admission tomorrow, but it's not your show. It's theirs.
Morning finally came.
Couldn't help but feel it. There was a spark in the air.
Put on my brand new shoes, wanted to look my best.
Ma told us not to go, but Eli and me, we was going.
Got down to the railroad track and saw I wasn't the only one gussied up.
I came to bear witness, to see the glow.
Men in the only states they owned, women in their Sunday best.
Never been so proud.
All of Irwin seemed like all of Tennessee.
Quite a sight.
People rising out of the mud, standing on top of box carts, cranes, coal tipples,
The cabin, my steam shovel. I see the house.
picnic baskets, food, punch.
We were doing it up right.
Everybody sharing with everybody else.
The glow.
Myself.
The glow was brighter than the sun.
People laughing, dancing. Kids play acting what they think was gonna happen.
Me and Eli are now peeing ourselves.
Saw some men drinking.
I saw Carl and them having a good old time down there behind a caboose.
I took their bottles out of their hands and smashed it on the railroad tracks. They looked at me like I was crazy. But I knew what was wrong. Wrong to sully the act with liquor.
It was gonna be something.
I tried to be pure, clean.
I couldn't take it anymore.
You could feel it. We were ready.
You wait for the signal from Johnny Tin Plate and tell Shorty to go ahead.
Trunks up! Killer marched in front. Those elephants marched out, holding each other's tails with their trunks like a parade or like a line of boxcars.
Why the hell are they bringing those other ones?
So they marched to the rail yard up to this crane, and this short fella came up and chained the killer's foot to the track.
Now.
I grabbed Shadrach.
Then the elephants started making this sound, like they knew once they left, the big one was gonna get it.
Get them out.
Real funny sound.
Now.
Sounded kind of human.
Lord.
Like 20, 30 people moaning full out at the same time.
Come on, come on.
Eli, have you plugged our ears?
I finally got Shadrach and the rest of them outside.
Finally.
We took our fingers out.
It's okay. It's okay. Ready? Sure, talk sweet.
Short fella ran up her back.
The woman were hiding their faces. Or pretended to.
We was afraid she was gonna pick him up with her trunk like she did that red-haired fella.
She didn't seem spooked at all. That short fella had wrapped the chain around her neck, had her back, and stood up.
He ran off, and then she was alone,
You could see the mud in between the folds of her skin.
She looked scary.
helpless.
Confused.
Guilty.
Well, I could kill her.
Like a queen.
The marshal looked up at the engineer and
Time. The railroad controls time. I made it stand still. The masses waited below with held breath to see if it was possible. If the railroad could actually kill their elephant dead for them. I smiled, a reassuring smile. You can depend on the railroad. I placed my hand on the hanging lever. This part, the before part, would be the best part of all. Then, I threw the lever, and time started up again. The crane groaned, gears grinded, and
Damn it, that thing didn't lift off the ground. And an elephant, for Pete's sake.
it rose up steadily on its hind legs, its toenails scraping the railroad tracks, like it was doing a trick.
Well, we started clapping, and I flashed a big old smile at Carl and them, because they bet me there was no way in hell that elephant was ever leaving Mother Earth.
But then we started wondering why it wasn't going up any higher.
gears sounded kind of stuck.
I got to thinking, maybe she was just too heavy. Yeah, sure, a 100-ton crane can lift 100 tons of steel, but maybe not a 5-ton animal. Maybe her soul was just as big as the rest of her.
But that wasn't it.
It wasn't the crane. Crane could lift her. Crane could lift her fine.
It was a people's problem, not a crane problem. People don't always remember so good. Even a big crowd of people, even thousands of people. People tend to not remember the little details. When there's an elephant hanging in front of them. Nobody remembered. Nobody Nobody remembered to unhook her. Nobody remembered she was still chained to the railroad track. Her foot was still chained to the track.
We were kind of ripping her in half a bit. Her leg was pulling at this angle. Her foot was trying to keep her to the ground. The rest of her was just headed up.
She broke a bone about as big as my whole body breaking. I felt it in my spine. My spine buckled, ached in sympathy, rang like a tuna fork. Eli started crying.
She left in, I suppose.
Eli ran off.
But I stayed.
Baby,
Stayed and seen my hooker. Lift her foot up again.
baby.
See her truck flailing about, jerking every which way, stabbing the air like crazy, trying to grab a hold of something.
Baby.
She would have been dead, or would have been soon. But if that is if the chain hadn't broke.
No.
But it broke.
No.
The chain around her neck broke.
It wasn't the crane. Crane will lift her. Crane will lift her fine.
Mistake number 2. It was a chain problem, not a crane problem. Chain around her neck couldn't handle all that weight. We can swing, right?
The chain popped and she came crashing down onto the railroad with a sound like an oak tree cracking in half. She broke. I think she broke her hip. Fight kind of went out of her after that. She couldn't move. Couldn't get off her side. That guy who climbed her before started screaming, like he was the one that fell. He yelled for somebody and they handed him a thicker chain and I couldn't believe it, but he ran up her back again.
He just wrapped the chain around her neck.
His face was all red and twisted up, but he just ran up there, picked her up again and ran off.
Then the elephant started raising. Higher.
Higher.
Tired.
Then she made some noises. Some air just kind of puffed out of her trunk, and then that was it. I let my breath out, and I breathed in, my lungs searching for that sanctified air, waiting to be made clean. But nothing. The air still tasted flat, stale, and rank. They hung that thing for nothing. I still got mud on my shoes.
Made that crane keep swinging for 20 minutes longer than they had to. Townies were waiting for her to let loose a bellow, rip herself free.
Something that big couldn't die, could it? Something that full life? But she was long gone. History. Looks like I might need some diamonds after all.
Look at that thing swing. There are people in this here country to tell you become a small nation. Nation of little people. They're on the ground, so the stars. But look at what we've done here today. Look at what we've done here in Irwin, and you tell me there's any more dreamers. We hung a damn elephant. An elephant! We made the impossible possible. So you can pack your grip and go if you don't love this country. If you can't see the glory that surrounds you. You want to stay in the mud. Because this is America. And we can do anything we dream of. Anything at all.
It dangles her effortlessly, haunting me. I could never lift her like that. I could never lift her. I tried once, just to see. I couldn't do it. Not to any of them. Even little Mabel, even the baby. But there she is, swept off her feet. Our star. By that, it mocks me. It mocks me. It mocks me.
I forgot about him. Everybody did. For once they put that poor beast back on the ground, its sisters came lumbering back into the yard. Quiet. Reverent. They started caressing Mary with her trunks, kind of saying their final goodbyes, soothing her spirits. Then that man, that little man, came up to the biggest one in the morning and petted her and whispered something, one of them huge ears of theirs. And then they started filing off like a funeral procession, one in front of the other, grabbing the tail in front. I brought up the rear, thinking it was best I get home, gather my notes. The globe was gone, and I had a feeling it'd be a bit crowded on Sunday.
I'm redlining myself. Settle down somewhere.
Shadrach.
My spark is out.
I gave Eli a good beating that night. Wasn't the worst part though. Worst part was the drink.
Johnson said he was in 2 days. Be ready.
See, Elephant got those braids like traps. Don't forget nothing. All those peanuts they eat, maybe. But people got short memories. Let go of a memory as soon as you give them one. But not me. I eat peanuts. Stops it all from blurring together. All those colored boys lit out in the yard must have blurred together something fierce. Because they don't ever talk about how they hung colored boys in Irwin. They just talk about how they hung an elephant. The damnedest thing. The damnedest thing. Peanut?
Why did the elephant cross the road? What did the banana say to the elephant? How can you tell if an elephant's sleeping? Why did the elephant leave the circus? How do you make an elephant disappear?
Hey. Hey. Thick mud. Hard to bury a squirrel, much less a... I got a steam shovel. I can dig the hole. You hear? I can dig the hole. Hey. Hey. That's what we got machines for, right? To make the job easier, to help people. Hey. I can dig the hole. I can dig the hole. Let me dig the hole. Please.
It was September, and there was a town, and there was a circus, and there was a railroad, and there was a man with red hair, and there was an elephant. There was an elephant. You pack up the tent, you load the boxcar, and you wait. You wait. After midnight, after the townspeople have gone home, after the prying eyes of Irwin are closed, safe. Safe. That they can get on with their stupid, worthless lives, in their stupid, worthless town, in their stupid, worthless... Wake up the clowns. You wake up the clowns, and you put the shovels back in their hands. You tell them to dig her up. You tell them to dig her up and to saw off her tusks. And you tell them to saw off her tusks and to bring them to you. You have to see what you can get for them, what you can salvage for the ivory tusks. An elephant is an investment.